For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
and
night.
I know Turkey is in your corner, but look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
Despite earlier promises to keep things respectful, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez quickly abandoned all politeness at their press conference, launching into a fiery exchange that lit up the room.
Because we are true fighters.
Yeah, true fighters, but
True fighters.
True, yeah, of course. No, not YouTuber fighters.
Huh?
Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah, of course.
They need to talk and talk about the fight because they want to sell something. The people know we are great fighters. They want to put a great fight. Yeah. We don't need to talk.
I am sure in the end in the mid of September.
Whatever mutual respect they had vanished fast. Insults flew, and it turned personal. They mocked each other like bitter rivals not to champions sharing the stage. And yes, it was Canelo who threw the first jab, setting the tone.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
you
see.
know it.
We'll see.
We gonna see.
This fight, hyped as the fight of the century, took a personal turn. Alvarez dismissed the idea that it would be close, pointing out Crawford's smaller size and history at lightweight. Though he once claimed there was nothing to gain from fighting Crawford, Canelo was asked how much a loss to the two-time undisputed champ would hurt his legacy. He replied coolly, "He's not going to beat me. Don't worry."
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
Canelo praised Crawford as a great fighter, but not on his level. They focused too much on my power. He said, "I've got more than that." At 34, Canelo's experience runs deep, 67 fights, 11 world titles, and a career that began at age 15. He smiled when Crawford said, "For sure, these belts are coming home with me."
Come on, man. Yeah, I know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it. On the streets, I'm me against anybody. I ain't never gonna say another man gonna whoop me. So, you know what I mean? That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different, no? It's different. But we're not talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing. So that's different, way different than the streets.
Crawford may be less experienced by the numbers, 26 fewer fights, but his resume is elite. 19 straight world title fights, two-time undisputed champion. He boldly stated he'll become the first male boxer to be undisputed in 3 divisions. "I'm taking them," Crawford said, "and there's nothing you can do about it." Canelo snapped back, "You don't look different. Nothing's different." Crawford calmly replied, "You will see."
I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running. You know, I could tell you that. But I will be, you know, doing a lot of touching.
Get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's no Canelo.
Canelo turned pro in 2005 at age 15. Crawford started in 2008 at 20. Backed publicly by turkialalshikh, Crawford explained that this is the legacy-defining fight he's been chasing. He got to face the legends I didn't. This is my mega fight. Canelo, meanwhile, recently reclaimed his 168-pound crown by beating William Skull.
Because this is all about, I want to make history, and I'm very excited for this fight. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the...
Now, They headline a Netflix mega event in Las Vegas' 65,000-seat Allegiant Stadium. Crawford, full of confidence, said, "Come on, you know what I do. I'm not losing to Canelo, not in the ring, not anywhere." Canelo calmly replied, "We're not talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing."
However they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. It's simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
Pressed by host Todd Grisham about the judges and scoring, Crawford didn't flinch. "I can't focus on that. I've got to focus on what I can control. I'm going out there to win clearly." He acknowledged Canelo's durability, but reminded everyone, anybody can get knocked out. "I've always shown up when it matters most, and I'm not letting Canelo take that from me."
Canelo is more than aware of the challenge his opponent faces.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
But the Mexican superstar has been successful on several occasions while being the smaller man in the ring.
Canelo knows Crawford's moving up to weight classes, but he's not worried. "I've been the smaller guy before," he said. "Size isn't a factor for me. I just train hard, stay ready, and focus on the win. That's my mindset. I'm grateful to Netflix and Turkey and everyone involved. This is about making history."
Because for me, it's all about making history, and I'm glad to be here.
When would you say, from memory, that you first thought this fight was a real possibility, that you started thinking about this fight actually happening?
Well, I started thinking about it, a couple of years ago when they started talking about Spence fighting Canelo. Then just, sizing him up, like, all right, how tall is he? How long his arms and things like that. Just sizing him up like that and going to his fights and things like that. And when
As the press event neared its end, both fighters spoke directly to their fans. "I'd always show up ready to fight," Canelo said. "Thanks for your support. I'll give you a great night." Crawford told his Omaha supporters to suit up for the trip to Vegas, promising to make history and bring home the belts.
There's a lot of experts that think Canelo's not the same fighter. His punch output's a lot less. What do you think, considering the last 12 months or so? Is he the same fighter he was maybe a few years ago?
I think he is. I just think, he just wasn't up for the Skull fight. And I think, different fighters bring different, energies out of other fighters.
A lot of people are judging you on the Madrimov fight, saying you struggled moving up in weight. You're going further up in weight, and they're saying that's going to go against you based on the Madrimov fight. How do you kind of reply to that?
"Get ready," Crawford said. "We're bringing home more jewelry. It's going to be a special night for boxing." The mega event marks the debut of UFC President Dana White's new boxing promotion, co-launched with turkialalshikh after a near collapse. The fight is set for September 13th at Allegiant Stadium.
De La Hoya wastes my time with this question.
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick.
Alshikh opened the press conference, seated at the main table while Dana White was noticeably absent. He described a dinner with both fighters the night before. They were professional then, but after midnight, the real business started. He said, "Now, it's on."
And after 12 o'clock, the prestige and everything disappeared. Now, they will start.
And after that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport number one in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
As chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, Alshikh has been behind the sport's recent Saudi boom, but he's not here for boring fights. No Tom and Jerry boxing, he said, demanding a smashing face kind of fight. He left before the fighters even spoke. This is part of a huge Netflix boxing push, and Saudi investment is just getting started.
Yeah, this is what I want from you to say this name. I decided with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick, and after that we will go dinner to Crawford, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it's will launch in September. You waste. Oscar,
I want to speak to you about some of Turkey's comments. He said he doesn't want Tom and Jerry, people running away in the ring. And what did you make of that?
I agree with that. You know, people want to see a good fights. And I agree with that.
Do you think
because, you know, people come and spend money to see a great fight, and if the other fighter come and run all the night and don't make a good fight, it's deceptional.
Al-Shikh, the man driving Saudi Arabia's place in boxing, made his expectations clear. No running. I want a war, he said, referring to Crawford and Alvarez. He insisted they deliver a proper fight. Canelo's recent win over Skull was criticized for being dull, and Al-Shikh clearly doesn't want a repeat.
With this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport number 1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
All right, on the left-hand side here.
Your fight with Skull and potentially came to the conclusion.
We talk after about that, and it's very sad. But, you know, it is what it is.
I know.
I hope not, because we expect a great fight, the fight of the century, right? So I hope not.
Crawford last fought in August 2024, beating Israel Madrimov in a low-action fight that also drew boos. Al-Shikh joked about shrinking the ring to force action. We had dinner. They know what's expected now, he said. But both fighters seemed unfazed by his pressure. The real battle happens at Allegiant Stadium.
You heard His Excellency saying no more Tom and Jerry, no more running, but you're moving up 2 weight classes. It's not going to be smart for you to stand there and hammer it out with this guy. So how do you kind of balance that, not running, but being elusive in fighting Canelo?
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be.
At 37, Crawford is jumping up to divisions a risky leap. Asked if he'd stand and trade, he said, "I fought all my life. No one tells me how to fight. I won't be running, but I'll be smart." He reminded everyone of his 11-fight knockout streak before the Madrimov bout. Canelo called his last fight boring, but said, "A win is a win."
I called Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. We both came up in that era, and he was right there with those fighters, and he got the chance to fight the Miguel Cottos, the Floyd Mayweathers, and you know, the Kovalevs and Triple G's, and I wasn't able to get those mega.
Excellency, Tazzy Brown from Australia, fightbreakdown.com. First of all, congratulations for everything you've done for boxing since you've come into the game. You've given us many great fights, and you continue with your Excellency to keep giving us greater fights. You're a boxing historian yourself. Do you think this fight resembles Marvin Hagler Sugar admitted in the 80s? The fact that Canelo and Terence Crawford are the 2 great pound-for-pound legends, both first ballot Hall of Famers in the future.
What if Canelo was paying attention at dinner? He'd know that's not enough now for Al-Shikh, not for the fans. They want drama, action, and a real fight.
No, don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's not Canelo. Obviously, I'm being in this situation for a long time, and I have the experience. They only focus on my power, but I have more than that, and I think this fight is gonna be one of my best fights.
Canelo's next knockout would be his first since 2021, when he stopped Caleb Plant in the 11th round. Maybe that's something His Excellency turkialalshikh will want to discuss again over dinner. As the press conference ended, the focus Shifted back to boxing, Alvarez and Crawford faced off in the traditional stare-down, their first media appearance together since the fight was announced. Dramatic music blasted as the fighters stared each other down. Canelo was the first to look away. Watching from afar was retired champion Shane Mosley, who fought Canelo in 2012 and lost by decision. In an interview with Boxing Social, Mosley was asked if he thought Crawford could beat Canelo, especially considering Crawford is jumping up the weight classes. His answer was honest: no, I can't see it. Canelo's got skills too. It's not just Crawford.
I think that the reason why, if Crawford was a mover like the rest of the fight, then maybe he could have a good chance with Canelo. But I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be a problem. He's a fighter. He wants to fight, and he can move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. And if you sit there and fight with Canelo, and he's that much bigger than you, then I don't know.
Mosley explained that if they both fought at 154, it'd be hard to call. But with Canelo now dominating at 168, he just doesn't see Crawford pulling it off. Since moving up from middleweight in 2018, Canelo has taken out big names like Gennady Golovkin, Jermall Charlo, and Jaime Munguia. Still, if Crawford wins, he'll become the first male boxer in history to be undisputed in 3 weight classes. A legendary milestone dot, and that wraps it up for now. For more boxing updates, news, highlights, and major fight coverage, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. There's more fire coming your way. Stay tuned.